major decisions. They try not to quit their jobs, or smack their children, or run off to North Carolina with the serviceman who just fixed their VCR. They make certain to stay out of the ocean, since the chemical plant on Seminole Point always leaks in the first week of May, so that the yellowfin float to the surface, bringing sharks closer to shore. In the past few years, there has been an influx of newcomers, lured by the low rents and wild hibiscus. As a result, Verity is now home to more divorced women from New York than any other town in the state of Florida. None of these women had any idea of the sort of mess the month of May in Verity could make of their lives, any more than they knew what daily exposure to chlorine could do to their hair. There were now dozens of green-headed women all over town, all addicted to Diet Dr. Pepper, and each and every one of them was shocked to discover that in Verity mosquitoes grew to the size of bumblebees, and that the sea grape, which grew wild along the beach, could pull their children right into the thicket if they didn't keep to the wooden paths. After midnight, when the heat was almost bearable, and anole lizards ran fearlessly across quarry tile floors, these women never wept, but did their laundry instead. While the bleach was added to the whitewash and the laundry softener doled out, it became clear that although some of the children these women had transplanted were doing well, most were not. There were toddlers who called out for their fathers in the middle of the night, and boys who dreamed so deeply of the houses where they grew up, they'd wake damp with sweat, smelling of cut grass. There were sullen teenage girls running up astronomical phone bills, and babies so accustomed to ranch houses they got hysterical at the sight of an elevator. At 27 Longboat Street, just off West Main, in a pink stucco condominium facing the flat blue bay, there lived a 12-year-old boy, a mean little Scorpio named Keith Rosen, who would have liked nothing better than to knock someone's block off. He was so mean he could cut his own finger with a serrated steak knife and not flinch. He could drop a brick on his bare foot and not cry out loud. Last week, when his only friend, Laddie Stern, dared him to pierce his ear with an embroidery needle, Keith didn't even bleed. The following afternoon, he stole an earring shaped like a silver skull from a jewelry concession at the flea market over at the Sunshine Drive-In. He has never been a particularly good boy, but after 8 months in Florida, he is horrid. Already he has been suspended from school 3 times. He is willing to steal almost anything, lunch money, teachers' wallets, birthstone rings, right off his classmates' fingers. He keeps everything in a secret stash in the laundry room down in the basement, inside a hole he punched into the plaster behind a washing machine. Punishments are pointless. They don't work with him. He is no longer allowed to see Laddie Stern, not since they were caught cutting school and drinking Kahlua and Coke. But who can really stop him? Laddie's mom is the hostess at the Yacht Club restaurant, and she works odd hours, so Keith still goes over to their condo whenever he pleases. That is where he spends most of the first day of May, and by the time he leaves, after a vicious argument that has left Laddie with a bloody nose, it is already 99 in the shade, although where he bicycles, on Longboat Street, there is no shade. He's dizzy from the Miller Lights he drank and the half-pack of Marlboros he chain-smoked, and it isn't so easy to avoid the smashed turtle shells. Hard green globes the size of scooter pies line the asphalt and clog up the sewer traps. There is no point in Keith trying to talk to his mother. Most days he sneaks out of the apartment while she is getting dressed for work, or he waits in bed until he's sure she's left, so he won't have to see her and pretend to be normal or cheerful, or whatever it is she wants him to be. He bikes as fast as he can through the heat waves, past the surfers at Drowned Man Beach. He keeps at it until his lungs hurt. Then he rides over the curb and into the park at the corner of West Main and Longboat, where he pulls out the cigarettes and matches he stole from Laddie. It isn't his parents' divorce that bothers him. He could have lived with that. It was the way things just happened to him. He wanted to live with his father, but who asked him? His parents argued with each other until they came to a decision, and now his mother is stuck with him when everyone knows they have never gotten along. He never climbed